Is Dave here? Yeah, Dave Hammond, Membership and Engagement Manager, is now going to talk to you about his leadership experience.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dave Hammond. I'm Membership and Engagement Manager. Really pleased to be here to talk to you this morning about an experience that's quite different to Norma's, I think. My background isn't NHS. I've been within the health service for about 6 years. Out of university, I went to the Department of Work and Pensions initially. A question that people asked me before I went there was, when do they spray you grey? I realised it was about 8 months in, and I left after a year or so. Went into the third sector, so worked in environmental regeneration and had a real privilege working with community groups right across the northwest on environmental regeneration projects, which actually taught me, didn't realise it at the time, but it taught me an awful lot about leadership and about working with people to achieve goals. And working through influence as well, because actually when people are working on projects in their own communities, in their own time, with very limited resources, it's not something they're doing because they have to, they're doing it because they really want to. And essentially I was facilitating them, and that as I said, was a real privilege to be able to do that work. I was at Nationwide Building Society for a period as well, so again a fabulous set of experiences working in a whole range of jobs, from project management to communications, and was exposed to some really excellent managers and leaders within that organisation. But as I said, came to the NHS about 6 years ago, bringing all of those very varied experiences with me. So at the moment, very lucky to be working in the executive team with Linda, with Dominique, and with many other really good staff, all doing their best for this organisation. So I feel, I have to say, a little bit fraudulent standing in front of you talking about a leadership story, because in reflecting on this, I think, as Norma's already said, we are all leaders within this organisation. We all have the capacity to influence within our own roles, whether that be looking at what we do ourselves, what we do for and with our teams, and doing the best we can for the service and the organisation as a whole. But my own personal experience just in the last couple of years, I'm currently on the Elizabeth Garrett Anderson programme with the Leadership Academy, and that's been a really stretching and excellent experience. For those who don't know, it's a 2-year programme, so there's 8 modules in it and 20 plus assignments. And that's what people tend to focus on when they think about these kind of development opportunities. It's the work that's involved, but actually the work is just a bit of it. The best thing about it is the opportunity to work with other people from other organisations, other NHS trusts from right across the country, being part of a small supportive group of 6 people from different trusts, acute trusts, ambulance trusts, mental health from across the northwest as well. So real opportunities to learn, develop, to think. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. It's about making you think about and reflect on what you do yourself and what you're doing within your job. And it's been very valuable. That's the formal bit of it, but also I think really I felt very fortunate to be involved in the rapid improvement work that went on within the Trust about 2 years ago. So was able to spend time with, for example, wheelchair services, health visiting, speech and language therapy. Again, working with staff in those areas, not to give them the answers, because I definitely didn't have the answers. It was purely facilitatory. It was about having some time to help people within services frame questions about how they can make the changes they want to see. And for me, that's an awful lot about leadership. It's about helping people make the changes that they want to see. And then some of it is just about grabbing opportunities as well. So some of you will know me from helping develop the integrated business plan for the organisation, or being involved in the monitor assessments and that kind of thing. And those are things that don't necessarily neatly form part of one's job description, but they're opportunities that came up, and again, very pleased to have been involved in that. I think wrapping all of that up together, looking at what this means. I mean, obviously there's a personal benefit to it, but it's about the ripple effect. It's about the effect this has on teams and the wider organisation. So I think this focus on leadership is going to be really important in setting the focus on what we are here for, being really clear about that, where we're going and why we're doing it. The why question is really important. So there's often a distinction between management and leadership, and it's a bit of a false distinction really. But in the analogy of a journey, I think the management gets you where you're going, but the leadership tells you why you're going there and what you're going to do when you get there. And I think that's that's a sort of a crucial distinction. Another thing I think that leadership does, it's about focusing on the linkages and the dependencies and the relationships. So there's none of us within our teams can do what we need to do in isolation. It's all about the relationships we have with other teams and other trusts and other organisations as well. So I think maintaining that breadth of focus is something that a focus on leadership provides. So the leadership model, I think, is great because it facilitates that, and it facilitates it at all levels as well. So, as I said at the start, every single one of us, every member of staff in the organisation has a part to play, and their own leadership skills to develop. So, the model is a bit of a framework or a checklist. It's something to refer back to I guess, to reassure ourselves that we're going in the right direction with it. So, for example, the connecting aspect of it, seeing how we fit in with others, absolutely crucial. Evaluating how we work ourselves, how our teams work, how we can improve, again, fundamental, and engaging, listening to other views, understanding what others are doing and how we fit into that. So, I suppose to summarise, it's actually repeating the same point, but it can't be repeated enough, really. I think we're all leaders with responsibility for ourselves and our teams and the part we play in the wider organisation. Thank you.